Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the next in our series of interesting overtures. And boy, is this one interesting. It is the concert overture, opus, I don't know, it's opus something here, opus 32 by Enescu. Yeah, a totally cool piece of music, 9 and a bit minutes long. It has a much longer title than Concert Overture. Technically, it is called the Overture de concert sur des thèmes dans le caractère populaire roumain. Yes, that is concert overture on themes in the popular Romanian character, or folk music for short. Now, late Enescu, and this is very late Enescu, this is like 1948. He died in 1955. He became increasingly, what's the word? Spacey as he got older, I think. But he was always a composer of incredible musical density. That is, thickets of notes. He liked lots of notes. He really, really, really liked notes. And as his music became increasingly complex and the notes multiplied, it started drifting away from the idea of a simple romantic nationalist composer, which is sort of where he began, although a late romantic nationalist composer, it was always very sophisticated in its orchestration and its layout on the page. But this particular overture is really an extraordinary composition. It begins in a folksy kind of way, but the folk music elements that he employs become scarier and scarier as the music goes on. They become somewhat distorted and hallucinatory until at the end, it's kind of like a nightmare. And the ending is quite equivocal, even though it's sort of like a big, glorious major chord. It's really an astonishing piece of music. His approach to folk music in his later work was similar, I suppose, to that of Bartók's, in which whether he calls it a popular Romanian character or not, and it starts that way, he eventually just subsumes all of this stuff into his own personal style. And we're no longer dealing with any attempt at the evocation of folk music in a normative way. It's all very, very stylized and extremely affecting, I think, but also difficult. It's challenging music. It truly is, because nothing ever repeats literally. I mean, things come back, and you can tell that they're coming back, but they sound very, very different, and the level of dissonance and spookiness sort of increases with time as the overture goes on. It's really an incredible piece. I can play you two bits of it. I'm going to play you the opening, and then we'll listen to the conclusion. So you'll see how it goes from here to here, and how it gets there to the ending, I leave you to find out on your own if you're curious. Now, this absolutely splendid performance is part of Ondine's cycle of Enescu symphonies, which everybody should own. It features the Tampere Philharmonic Orchestra under Hanu Lintu, Mr. Bird, as we say in English. And it's a tremendous performance by this orchestra, which is really a very, very fine ensemble. So, let us listen to the opening of the concert overture on themes in the popular Romanian character, or whatever the heck it's called, and then we'll skip ahead. So here's the opening. Basically the opening. The first two themes are in this particular excerpt. There are three, actually, all told, but here are the first couple. So you can clearly hear the folk origins, at least of that opening tune, and the stylized evocation, perhaps, of plucked folk instruments of various types, and and it sounds Eastern European, Romanian, without a doubt. It definitely sounds Romanian. But by the time we get to the end, oh my, how things have changed. Here is the ending. Wow, scary, isn't it? I mean, it's just a fascinating evolution. And I really recommend very strongly that you take some time, because you've got to take a little time. It's only 9 minutes, but it helps to listen to it a couple times in a row just to see where it's going and get a feel for it, and give it a chance to sink in. It's an extremely powerful piece of music. And the funny thing about it, of course, is that nobody is going to suspect what they're getting when he gives it a title like, oh, it's a concert overture on popular Romanian themes. And it's like everyone goes, okay, sure. I mean, they think they're going to be getting, something like the Overture to the Bartered Bride or something like that. But no, no, no. It's quite different, as you can hear for yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this. Once again, it's the Tampere Philharmonic Orchestra with Hannu Lintu on Ondine, and as part of their 3-disc Enescu Symphony cycle. And it's just quite an interesting overture, isn't it? It works in this particular category. So keep on listening, folks. Thanks for joining me. Take care.